Sup y'all, this is TyranitarNom, and this is going to be a, um, it's going to be a mixed tier battle. The guy from it's a girl from one of the forums, me and Lunar Eclipse visit. And so the lead of the opponent is a Rhyperior, and I go with Fortress. Fortress is the only non-UU member on this UU-based team. Only reason is because I love entry hazards and stealth cocks all the way. They're broken. Why not use them? So I go with the Toxic, and then he switches after he gets his rocks off into a Blazekin, so he can get I thought a fire move. He predicts the switch into a bulky water, which was smart because generally that's what people do when fire types come out. I switch into a Flash Fire Houndoom, and he gets a crit on the Thunder Punch, which kills me. Although now I have two sets of Toxic Spikes, so Toxic is up. Although this Blazekin is not toxic, it is only poisoned first layer, which is pretty pointless. So I go into Hariyama. This does have Guts, does have Facade, and Fake Out. Thunder Punch and Close Combat are the other two moves. So I get a crit on the Fake Out and get some great damage off. And with Poison, that rounds him down to the low red. I have Toxic Orb, which is really dumb. I know, I'm sorry. It should be Burn Orb. Because of how bulky Hariyama is, Toxic just wear him down. I thought Toxic Orb didn't do Toxic. I thought Toxic Orb just poisoned them, which would have been smarter, but it doesn't. So I will switch that with a Burn Orb, which will do a lot better in other matches and like this one. It dies from Flare Blitz from Recoil because it's dumb. And then he goes into one of his three OUs. He's 3 OUs in this mixed tier battle, which is completely legal, although gave me some problems. So he goes into a Caesar. I predict something that Fortress can resist, because it can resist almost anything. Neutral from Superpower, Bullet Punch is resisted. So he goes into a Zapdos, and I know these things have Heat Wave. I've faced either this one or a different one before that has Heat Wave, which is annoying as hell. And I hate Heat Wave on an electric type flying bird. I don't know how it makes sense. Don't try and apply logic to Pokemon. I learned that way earlier in my life. So I go into a Melodic Special Defensive Wall, gonna take that like a bitch. And I ready to Ice Beam. He goes out. Actually, no, I go out because I'm smart. It's got Thunderbolt. It's Electric Bird. It's gonna kill me after that. So I go into Hariyama to Death Fodder. He takes the electric and dies. Would have died anyway, even if he didn't. Some magical power. And critical hit, just in case he didn't die. So we had 3 layers of things that could have killed him, even if he didn't get Thunderbolted or something. And so I go into Lanturn, who's God. And Dipshit here decides to go into a Thunderbolt. I heal up. No more Stealth Rock damage. Go into a Thunderbolt, hoping he could do good enough damage. And after Stealth Rocks, brings him down to half. He roosts it off. And I Thunder Wave. This move was good by me. Pat on the back. You'll see why later. It slows it down basically to be slower than Lanturn, which will be key in the moments afterwards. I'm fixing it. You get a better angle. There we go. And now he goes into a Spirit Tomb Spin Blocker, a great user in UU, especially with pressure. He's probably predicting that he's going to be able to PP stall me here with rest, sleep talk, and pressure just as a general ability. And so I Thunderbolt. It does almost nothing. Even toxic damage won't do that much. And I switch out to Fortress to get the Stealth Rocks off in case he has a bug or something. And he rests off the poison and the small amount of damage he has. He probably could have taken another hit and gotten off some damage on my Fortress, but he doesn't. I don't think this thing will have anything that can touch me, so I get the rocks off. He falls asleep. Uses Sleep Talk and Will-O-Wisps. Big deal. Fortress doesn't have an attack. He's got an Explosion. And I'm not going to be using that on this guy anyway. And I won't use it for the match. I'm hoping to use it later. It's a good move. I like Explosion. It's completely broken in 4th gen. 5th gen, they fixed it with not letting it do anything for defense, but that's no fun. I mean, come on. You want the defense drop. You want it to kill things. You don't want it to slightly scratch them. So I go into Melodic to take his special attacks, which I now know it's all he has. He's got Shadow Ball, Will-O-Wisp, Sleep, and Sleep Talk. So I recover off the damage. If I didn't have Burn Orb, this would have been a lot more stall and troll worthy, but I don't. I have Burn Orb, which does absolutely nothing against a special attacker. He wakes up, uses Shadow Ball, keeps pounding away at me, and I decide, you know what, I'm just going to surf this thing to death, whether it kills me. So I go with Surf. I'm down to half health already, even after a recover. Get the Surf. It does not enough to bring him to half. I like the yellow, and I didn't get to see it. So he Shadow Balls, brings me down to dangerous health. And this Surf crits, which is great and helps me. It wasn't a tide changer. It really didn't help too much, but it was... it helped speed things up. Avoid the stalls, because of how much of a stall-based team mine is. So it helps speed things up with 2 stalls, punching it out. And key thing that Lanturn, the Pokemon I come into next, is faster than his Spirit Tomb, because otherwise he would have been able to rest, and that would have been a pain in the ass to get all the way back down to red again, after it took so long and a couple of months to die for this to happen. Or 1, Melodic, but that's it. And so I get the Surf off, it dies, and after leftovers I have a great amount of health, and this Lanturn just starts to wreck shit up. It is fantastic. He goes into one of his OUs, his Scizor. Scizor's on almost every OU team. It's on mine, just because of the great Technician Stab Bullet Punch. That's pretty much one of the only reasons why people use Scizor. And so I get a Thunderbolt off, knowing it has crappy special defense, and that electric and water moves would be neutral. I just decide electric. Just more fun. And he goes into his superpower, and I barely escape this move alive. Deep red. Leftovers will help me, but I should be able to kill this thing. Hopefully Bullet Punch wouldn't kill him, although I doubt it would. And him being dumb, he goes into a Starmie. Why would you go into a Starmie if I just use Thunderbolt? I just used Thunderbolt. I'm going to do it again because it did more than half. And one more Thunderbolt would have killed his Scizor. And so the next Thunderbolt kills his Starmie. I don't know why it's called Mercury. I guess the little red thing in the center. So other things would be better. That should be named Neptune, not his Rhyperior. That's just dumb. It has nothing to do with water. It doesn't carry a trident. And so he goes into Jupiter, his Zapdos, and Lanturn. I knew he wouldn't make the mistake again of going into a Thunderbolt to heal me, which would have brought me to about half health. But he doesn't, because he's not dumb. She's not dumb. I've been calling her he the whole time. I'm sorry. It's a girl. I'll learn this later. And so I get a Thunderbolt off, and the Heat Wave misses, although it wouldn't have killed me, because Heat Wave isn't very effective on water types. Who would have thought? And so Thunderbolt brings it down to the red. She gets the Heat Wave off. And the Heat Wave brings me down to 70, so it really didn't do anything at all. Leftovers is going to heal me. I think back maybe more than Heat Wave did damage with. And so I go with the Thunderbolt and kill it. So you see that paralysis really helped. Since it was paralyzed, I got that Thunderbolt off, and I wouldn't have been able to take another hit. Now I have 120 HP to face his Scizor. And after Stealth Rocks, he's damaged enough that anything will take him out, Surf or Thunderbolt. And he goes with the Bullet Punch, which is double not very effective. Don't know why you did that. You would have been faster anyway. I only have like a 61 base speed. I'm sure Scizor is higher than that. It does jack, and I get the Thunderbolt that'll kill him off. So that, my friends, is 3 OUs that this Lanturn is taken out. And then he goes into Neptune, his misnamed Rhyperior and weird lead. And I go for the Surf that kills it. And that was a great battle. It was pretty close at times. I got a little worried. It was my first ever battle with not practically a full OU team. I mean, I've used Cradily. I've used Poliwrath. But that really doesn't count. 2 NUs on the same team just really doesn't count as anything less than OU. And so it was a good battle. I'm looking forward to more UUs, so We'll see. I'm going to build up more Mons.